been so lucky to be a part of this organization for a long time, and we've had so many great teams.
Being successful is truly a challenge. It's not going to come easy to you, nor will it come easy to anybody. Yeah, some people might get lucky and appear to be successful, but chances are that isn't going to last long term. The best way to achieve success in the long term is to go ahead and make sure you know what you're doing, and go ahead and be focused and be honed in on whatever it is you want to achieve. No matter how crazy the goal or how lofty it is, you want to make sure that you know you are determined to keep going at it no matter what the cost is. It's going to be hard. You're going to have some late nights. You're going to have some early mornings, but you know in your heart of hearts that you're doing this because you want to be successful. You know you can do it, and that's why you're so determined.
As long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing things you love to do.
And that's why you're so focused, because you truly believe anything you can do is possible. And that's the mindset that you need to have, because it's going to be challenging to you. But at those times when you're challenged, you need to take a step back and discover what you can learn from that opportunity. You need to learn how you can take the information you've gained and push yourself forward. Use challenging moments as a launching pad to get over those even more challenging moments, because you've been there. You know how to push yourself. You know how to keep going. You know how to not stop in a dead end. If you hit a dead end, you're just going to find another way. You will make your own path. And once you do that, that is when you will be successful, not only in the short term, but for the long term as well.
It led me to being much more disciplined in my life because I love playing the sport and I want to continue to play.
You got to believe that you can do it, and I think the team has a lot of poise. There's no panic, obviously, in our coach. There's no panic in our organization. There's no panic in the players. It's just like, guys, it didn't go well. Let's learn from it. Sometimes when you lose, that's where you learn the most. And if you let it discourage you to the point where that one loss becomes two, the two becomes three, well, then you have a tough season, because it's hard to rebound from 2 or 3 or 4 losses in a row. You got to figure out a way to, fix the problem and then get back on track. And then if you can string off a bunch of wins, which we did at one point this year, get you in a decent position. I think, after to beat Kansas City, that's just it's an incredible game. You go and you play the #1 seed on the road. There's nothing but just joy when you win. And life should be about that in a lot of ways. And I think I was talking to my wife earlier this week, we always have a choice of what we want to focus on. Mm-hmm. We could always focus on the thing that maybe didn't work or didn't go our way or this or that, or you can focus on, what's positive in your life or all the great things and be optimistic. And I think I choose, more often than not, the joy. I choose the enjoyment. I choose the positives, and it brings me a lot of joy.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't come in as a top-rated recruit. I didn't come in with the opportunity to play right away. I had to earn it. And you know what the greatest honor I've ever received as a player is? In my 4th year and my 5th year, I was named team captain. That, to this day, is the single greatest achievement I've ever had as a football player. Because the men in this room chose me to lead their team. And these were my best friends. These were the guys that knew that I liked to work, that knew that I loved football, that knew that I loved to play, that knew that I wanted to be the quarterback for Michigan. And all the lessons that I learned here on State Street and in the big house, that's still what I bring to practice today. And after 14 years, I love the game more than I've ever loved it. But where did I learn the love for the game? Where did I learn to practice? Where did I learn to compete? It was sitting in the same chairs that you guys are sitting in today.
When I'm playing football, I appreciate it. I'm nowhere else. I'm in the present. It's probably the best part about my life is that to be in the present. You talk about how do you enjoy your life? How do you find balance, right? It's to live in the present. To live like a kid. Like, why do kids have so much fun? Because they just care about what they're doing. And if we thought about what we were doing all the time, you do that when you're on the football field. It's probably the only place that I can really do that, when I really truly am my authentic self.
I think I'm growing into it more and more. But I was been so fortunate to do something I love to do, and it's televised every Sunday for half the year. So people love football, and I've been able to kind of be in people's homes in that way for a long time, and really enjoyed my career. It just evoked a lot of joy. It took you from, as a kid, everything's joyful. There's, for the most part, as an adult, I could see how people work so hard over the course of the week, and they just can't wait to get to the weekend to relax and to sit in front of a, TV with friends and have this social event. I love the experience, and I think that it's, life is about stretching, and being outside your comfort zone. I think it was just good timing. I felt like it would be nice to share with the fans more of what my life was all about. So focused, for me, it's always been, you see me through the lens of what, you want to see a professional athlete as. But professional athletes are a lot of other things too. You're dealing with life as you go through your career like everyone else, because it's only broadcast on a particular, day. And there's obviously a lot of coverage with, the media over the course of the week. But, to say, okay, well, this is actually how it really is.
I was pretty disappointed. It was a tough loss, but I've been a part of those winning teams, and I think when you lose, you just got to understand that comes with it. It's, it really is. It's a competitive sport. No one knows the outcome, and it ended up being a great game. On our team, there wasn't too much of that, but I thought it brought up a lot of healthy discussion in the locker room. I think the great thing about sports is it brings a lot of guys together, a lot of guys from all over the country, from all different backgrounds and cultures, and I have such a healthy respect for the guys that I play with. It's great to hear their stories too. I think the good outweighs the bad. There's a lot of discipline that comes with playing contact sports. A lot of focus. You got to be so prepared when you're out there. You got to, every time you take the field, you respect your opponents. You know that, there's a lot on the line. And, sports do a great job of keeping you focused in that way. And it's really kept me focused. But I think it's also led me to being much more disciplined in my life because I love playing the sport and I want to continue to play. Defensive players, like if you were a safety, you really don't have too much responsibility other than going after the football. So that would be, if I could play one position, other than quarterback, it'd be safety. So once your body adapts, you don't need to go as often. I think that's a big kind of misnomer. When I was a young quarterback, I couldn't throw the ball because my elbow was so sore. And the problem was players that always have elbow pain, I always think, God, if they would just work on some of these things, it would be a lot better.